Okay, so let's start. A very good evening, everybody. So I welcome you again for the pre-placement training session of Python programming. So this is going to be session 2. Before I start, I just would request somebody to quickly confirm if I'm audible clearly.
Yes, ma'am, you are audible. Please continue.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. So this is session 2 for Python programming training. So we have yesterday's session, we have discussed a lot of basics about Python. We have tried to understand that what is the relevance of Python, why it is too much in boom, and what are the different companies which are uh, having the demand of a Python programmer, plus what are the different areas where you can get into with the basic knowledge of Python. And yes, what are the different platforms wherein you can go and practice for competitive programming of Python. So I just hope that after the session, everybody has explored that HackerRank, that Leap Code, these kind of platforms, wherein you can go and practice for your take a problem statement and practice your coding skills. Talking about the concepts that we have covered, that is what is Python, how the Python program is compiled, what are the different steps of it. After that, we have also discussed the various features of Python, and then how we can probably execute a Python program, what are the different ways available. And then we have started with learning the basic input output functions that are there in Python. After that, we have also explored uh, the different data types. So I will quickly start with the data types in today's session. So yes. So here, I hope everybody can see that is the spider window. So I'll be like taking the sessions on the spider window because I find it easy to teach. But then, yes, you can practice even on the IDLE. You don't need as such any hi-fi software because we are still on the basics. So talking about the different data types in Python, so we have started with that we have few basic numeric data types that is there in every other language. For example, int, float, complex, bool, right? These type of data types. So these are the numeric data types that are available in Python. Also, we have discussed about various number formats. So that is like binary, octal, hexadecimal, like that. And also we have seen the conversion of every other format into base 10 format or decimal format. After that, we have started with sequences. Now this is something which is actually important, and the data types that we are going to learn here is considered to be as advanced data type in Python. So yes, we have seen the basic, that is what is strings. Then we have seen what is byte, what is byte code, byte array. And also we have seen what is list. Now this is something which is really important. That is list, which is nothing but a collection of different types of data. So you are not required to have only integers in the list or only float numbers in the list. You can have the amalgam of different data types. Even you can nest the list also. You can have a list inside the list. The presentation would be the square brackets. So if you're talking about list, you require a square bracket. Similar to list, we have tuples with few differences. We have learned that tuples are are something which is immutable, right? You cannot go to any particular index and change the value. If you'll do that, probably you have to create the copy of the tuple and you can do the changes there. So internally inside the memory, it will create a different identity number for the tuple to which you will modify, right? So that is the reason it is called as immutable, and lists are quite mutable. Both are there to accept the different type of data in the collection. So like in list, we represent tuple using round braces. This we have seen last time. Now quickly, I will start with sets and dictionary. This is third and fourth category of data type, that is set and dictionaries. But then before going to set and dictionaries, let's quickly try to understand what range function do in Python. So as you can see here, the code, that is, there is an inbuilt function called as range. Now what does range do actually? This range is nothing but there to tell us the sequence. Now with that sequence, we have if we want to give some certain amount of gap between every number, we can give. For example, if I want to write here a range,
Hello. Yeah, am I audible now? Great. Fine. So we were trying to understand about ranges. So yeah, what range do, it gives us a sequence of the number, but then if there is any third value specified here, that means what? It is telling me the step count. That means what? After 10, I'll take a step count of 4 and then I'll display another number. Then I'll take another step count of 4, then I'll display another number. But then please take care of till when you have to go till 30, but 30 would always be exclusive, it will not be inclusive. Then talking about the another range function, wherein we have written range 10, right? So if I have specified only one value, that means what? It will by default start it from 1, right? So let's quickly execute it and see. So what I have done, I have simply taken a range 10 in R1 variable. Let me run a for loop where let me traverse every other element. Okay, so it is taking from 0 to 9. Sorry, it's my bad. It will take from 0 to 9. Now, then again, the thing is the upper bound is always exclusive. So 10 will be exclusive here, right? How for loop of Python works, we will see in today's session, right? This was about the range function. It is a small function just for the familiarity I do. Now let's discuss about set, right? So what are sets? Sets are nothing but agar general definition set ki aap discuss karo, that we even sometime learn in mathematics also. That is nothing but unordered collection of unique data, right? So unordered means, first of all, we cannot have index for each and every element because it is unordered. We don't have any specific order for it. Second thing is, as it is calling as unique set of elements, that means what? Even if you will repeat some element multiple times, it will considered as one. It will be considered as one, right? So let's say I have defined here a set wherein, okay, sets are always defined in curly braces. So if I have defined here a set, you can see that every element is existing only once. But then let's say if I'm repeating the number 25 times, then what it will do, it will consider 20 uniquely, right? It will not consider all 520s. So this is how the set works, even in the mathematics, and similar way in the Python also. So yes, if I'm defining the numbers in the curly braces, let's execute and see what the type function will tell. Yeah, it is telling me that this particular thing belongs to class set. So as we have already discussed the type function yesterday, right? That is nothing but telling me that whatever object I have created, that object belongs to which class of Python, right? So as I told you, everything in Python is nothing but class and object, right, in the background. So whatever variable here you are creating is nothing but an object of some specific class. To which class it is notifying, you can quickly print it here by using type function. And that's what we have done. Okay, so I just hope it is making sense. So let's say if I have a string that is hello, which is having L repeated, of course, and if I want to print that string, it will print it normally, that is hello, as you can see here the output. But then let's say if I can convert one sequence data type to another sequential data type. So let's say if I want to convert here this hello string to set, right? So what it will do, it will consider one element separately as every element of set, right? So okay, let's see what will happen. So what basically I have done here, I've typecasted it from string to set. Okay, so let's see what output it will print. So yes, I think from here you can clearly understand it is printing the separate character. First character here is E, second character is H, third character is L, then O, right? So there is no sequence because it is unordered. You cannot claim that why you have not printed H first, because it has clearly told that it is unordered collection, right? So order may be anything randomly. After that, one more observation that you should do, that is we have L twice mentioned here in hello, but then while taking it at the time of set, it is considering it uniquely, right? That is, for it, L is one element. L cannot be repeated, right? So that is the reason it is taking 4 different characters as the element of the set, right? Just a moment. Yeah. So this is all about set. You can do small operations with set, of course. Here what we have seen that जैसे कि अभी हमने क्या किया, हमने string को set में convert किया, typecast किया. वैसे we have here taken a list and we are here printing the list and then typecasting it and printing. So we are basically typecasting a particular list into the set. Now there is no guarantee, okay? It may come in the same sequence after getting converted to the set. It may come into different order. It is highly possible that element 3 will appear first, then element 1, and then element 8. That is highly possible. Okay, now let's try for another function. Now let's assume if you are provided with a list with name A, अगर आपके पास A नाम की कोई list होती and आप क्या कर रहे होते, if you are doing it slicing there. So basically this is nothing but you are asking to print 0th element, 1th element and 2nd element, but not 3rd element, right? Okay, so yes, why not 3rd element? Because 3rd element will always be exclusive, right? The higher bound will always be exclusive, right? But then what we have in list we have proper indexing. We know that what is present in 0th location, what is present in 1th index, right? But then if you talk about set, we have started with that set is unordered, so it is not having any indexing. So let's execute and see how it behaves. So as soon as I try to do, or I try to access some specific index, here it is showing me the error, right? That is, it is showing me the error that basically I cannot do indexing in set. So that is the reason it cannot slice the set with 0 to 3, right? After that, we have update function. So let's quickly execute it and see. So what we are trying to do, we are basically trying to add 3 elements to it, which will be successfully added. There won't be any problem with it, right? Because we can make changes in set. It is a mutable data type, right? It is unordered, that is altogether different, but it is a mutable data type. Let's talk about remove functions. So yeah, I'm trying to remove 4. Yes, here you can see previously 4 was there. This time 4 has been removed, right? I'm trying to add something that is again possible. So yes, so actually 10 has been added here, but then I think now you can clearly understand that since 10 was already present, so it cannot show 10 twice, because then sets believe in uniqueness of the elements. Okay, but it is not showing any error, means add function works with set. Okay, this was all about set data types. Now we'll quickly discuss about mapping types. So actually this is 4th category, that is mapping types. The only data type that comes under it is dictionaries, right? So yeah, let's quickly see what dictionaries are. So dictionaries are nothing but the collection of key value pair, right? What basically we do have some key and some value separated with a colon, right? So this is how our dictionaries are maintained. This is a structure of dictionary. Curly braces will be used for the dictionary, but then it will be in the terms of key value pair. There is no restriction that key should be of this particular data type and then a value should be of this particular data type. This is not at all a restriction with the dictionary. You can have any data type as a key. Probably you can pass a list data type also as a key or as a value. That is highly possible, right? So let's quickly check what type of object this D is. So as soon as I've checked what type of object, it has clearly shown me that this object D belongs to class DICT, right? That is dictionary class. Okay. Now, yes. Now, let's say if I want to retrieve some particular value of some key. And for that, this is how the syntax is. If I'll write here D10, means what? It will go to your dictionary D. It will ask where the 10 is present as a key. So here the first element is there where the 10 is present as a key, right? So it will print the value of that particular element or that particular key value pair. So with 10, the value associated is div a string. So it will print this div a string. So here you can see it is printing div a string. Okay. Fine. After that, if you want to print all the keys, you have keys function. If you want to print all the values, you have values function. So yes, there are ample of functions again available with every data type that you can probably explore and learn, right? So keys you can see is returning me the list of all the key, right? And then values are representing me the list of all the values. So यहाँ पे keys क्या क्या है 10, 11, 12 and values क्या क्या है division A, division B and division C are the values. Okay. Fine. So there is something called as zip class, right? So I just want to tell you what that zip class is. Probably this may be the question you may encounter somewhere because it is not that commonly used, right? So what basically zip is, let's say if I have some tuple and I want to convert that tuple to set, or if I have some set, I want to convert it to tuple. That is pretty easy. But conversion with the dictionaries are difficult. If I have a list, I cannot directly convert it to the dictionary. Why? Because list is having standalone elements, and in dictionary, every element is key value pair, right? So you need a key, you need a value also, right? So what you can do for that, you need two lists at that time, wherein first element of first list can be mapped to second element of second list as a key value pair, right? So to club two lists and make one key value pair sequence, you need a function called as zip. So basically what what my aim is here to convert these two lists, to concatenate in such a way so that no, concatenation is a wrong word, but then to club in such a way so that we can get a key value pair and we can get dictionary as output. So as we can see here, that is with the element with list variable A, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. With the list object B, we have A, B, C, D. Let's execute up till here, right? So we can clearly see that this zip is returning me actually some object, right? Because then this zip is a class, right? This zip is a class object. So it is returning me some object to which I cannot read. But then while converting the zip to dictionary, I am saving it to some other variable. And now here I am able to see the key value pairs property. That is 1A, 2B, 3C, 4D. Why not 5 something? Because then for B, you don't have fifth element, right? That is the reason it is not accessing A ka fifth element.
Yeah, I just hope I'm audible. Okay. Yes, am I audible? Yeah, I just need a confirmation, sir, if I'm audible. Okay, great. Fine. So yeah, I was talking about one of the example that we have taken the example of a fruit shop. So yeah, this was a very good example to understand that how we manage with things with the dictionaries, and it was like having the problem statement like we have a fruit name, and then every fruit name is having some quantity kept in some shop. Let's say some shopkeeper has kept 10 kgs of apple, wherein every kg is of 200 rupees per kg, right? This is what is the cost. So if I am writing a Python program using a dictionary to calculate the cost of each and every fruit, that is the total cost. Let's say if I'm asking that how much, what is the worth of apple which is kept here? So you can simply multiply, that is probably 10 kgs into 200 per kg. So it will give you 2000 rupees ke apple hai shop mein. So likewise with other fruits. So what we have done basically, we have taken an empty dictionary with name prices, right? Now this dictionary will be having key as fruit name and value as price per kg, right? As a value, right? So you can manually enter the value, that is pretty possible. You can take it from user using input function, or else what you can do, you can simply take it up hard coded for your understanding. As I have taken prices of apple is equals to 2, prices of orange is equals to 1.5, prices of pear is equals to 3. So if we'll execute this, let me execute it for you, and let me show you how the output will look like. So here you can see it is very nicely arranging it as a dictionary, right? That is apple is having its place as a key, and then per kg apple cost 2 rupees, let's say, for an example. right? So if you want, you can put these values by putting a for loop, and then you can take it from user. You can make the dictionary in that way also. In the same way, here we have taken the stock, that is how many kgs we have for that particular fruit in the fruit shop, and later we have run a for loop to print those things and to calculate the overall valuation of that particular shop, right? So what we can do, from one dictionary we can access the price of the fruit, and from another dictionary we can access the quantity, and we can multiply, right? So how to discuss the how to access the value? For that, you can take the dictionary name and then key, dictionary name and then key. So you will get value as an answer, and it will be multiplied, as those are the numeric values. Okay. So I just hope it is giving you a bit of idea that how your dictionaries work. Now, the next thing is going to be operators in Python. Yeah, so this is a simple topic in Python, that is operators, that which is very similar as we used to learn with other languages. So we will quickly cover it. That is operators in Python. So if you talk about operators in Python, these are the categories of operators. So what is operator? That basically performs some kind of operations between one or more operands, one or more number, or one or more data types. That is nothing but operators, right? Why I'm saying one? Because there is something called as unary operator also, that works with only one operand. For binary operator, you need two operand. For ternary operator, you need three operand, and likewise. Okay, so these are the different categories of operator which has been defined in Python. Let's start with first one, that is arithmetic operators. So yeah, if we talk about arithmetic operators, very common arithmetic operators as we have learned in every other programming language, that is addition, subtraction, multiplication. Division will give you the decimal value. So let's say if I'm dividing, if let's say I'm dividing 5 by 2, so it will give me 2.5 as the answer, right? After that, as yesterday we have discussed, exponentiation operation is a bit, operator is a bit different. So here you need to asterisk to say that it is an exponent operator. We don't need cap symbol for it. And then we have modulo operator, right? So what modulo operator do? It gives you remainder. And what integer division do? It give you quotient. So for example, if I have 5 divided by 2, then modulo will return me 1, and integer division will return me 2, right? Why? Because then 2 2s are 4, right? Then remainder is 1. So quotient is 2, likewise. Okay, so let's quickly execute all this and see it in a single stretch. So yeah, this is the output of addition operator or output of subtraction operator, then multiplication operator. We have 3 into 4, then 3 divided by 4 is in decimal, then exponent operator is giving you 3 raised to the power 4, which will come to 81, right? Then 4 modulo 3 will give you remainder as 1. So it is remainder operator. Then 8 integer modulo, yeah, integer division 3. So integer division 3 gives us quotient. So if we'll write 8 divided by 3, the quotient would be 2s are 6, right? So remainder would be 2 at that time. That is the reason it is giving us quotient is 2. That is the reason it is giving us 2 here. I just hope it is clear. After that, quickly we will see the something called as associativity and precedence, right, which is very important. So if let's say any arithmetic expression has been given in the front of you and you need to solve it, then what you will do in the case of multiple operator usage, you need to know that what is a precedence. So as in mathematics we used to learn BODMAS rule, right? Similar way here we have rules कि आप क्या precedence दोगे, सबसे पहले आपको किसे priority देनी चाहिए. So let's say this is the expression, and if I'll ask you to solve this expression, the first priority you should give to parenthesis, right? in the similar way here, that means first of all 1 plus 2 will be solved. Then second priority should be given to exponentiation. Third priority, now these all are on the same priority, that is multiplication, division, modulus and floor division. In सबका same priority है. After that addition and subtraction, after that assignment operator, that is equal to is the assignment operator. But then you may have a question that what if any expression is having only multiplication and division, then what to do first? For that, associativity comes into the picture. If there is no brackets, let's say if I'll give you 3 multiplied by 4 divided by 6, right? Quickly, I'll write the expression here. So let's say if I'll write 3 multiplied by 5 divided by 6. Okay, then what you'll do in this case, how to solve this, to which we should give the preference, because you just said that multiplication and division is on same priority. So here what we should do, we should quickly find out the associativity. So associativity is from left to right, that is left में सबसे पहले जो भी operator आया, give it as a priority. So what we'll do, we'll multiply 3 to 5 first, right? We'll get some output, to which we'll divide to 6, and that is going to be our answer. So this is how precedence and associativity works. So yeah, I think you people can attempt this expression, even if with your Python compiler, that is totally fine to me. If you can type in the chat section that what is going to be the answer for D, what D is going to print. Yeah, quickly solve this, and if you can post in the chat. According to you, what should be the answer of this expression? Yeah, I just hope everybody is solving. It's pretty easy. Okay, so somebody is saying 15 is going to be the answer. Mandar is saying 15 is going to be the answer. What about others? You can use your mathematics, you can use your Python compiler, anything. Quickly use it and tell me what should be the answer according to you. Okay, Purva is saying 16 should be the answer. Another 1 minute, quickly tell me. Yeah, any more answers? Fine. So this is like simple mathematics. Let's quickly execute it and see. Quickly execute it and see that the answer is going to be 16. So yes, Purva, you are right. 16 is the correct answer. Right? So first priority again to parenthesis. That means 1 plus 2, you will do 3. Right? Then exponentiation. Right? So that means 3 raised to the power 2. Second priority should be given to this particular expression. That is 3 raised to the power 2, which will give you 3 3s are 9. Sorry. Yes, 3 3s are 9. Likewise, you can solve and get the answer. So yes, you can try it again, and yes, you will get the answer as 16. Yeah, please listen these concepts very carefully. After operators, we'll have a small quiz, very, very teeny mini quiz, just to understand that whatever we have learned, if it is clear or not, right? And what kind of questions we may encounter with if we are giving some exams, right? Objective exams. So yes, the next category, that is category number 2, is assignment operators. Now, this is something which is aware, all of you are already aware of, that is we have right to left assignment, right? For example, if I'm writing x is equals to 20, that means this 20 value will be assigned to variable x, right? So this is one of the assignment operator. Then we have addition assignment, subtraction assignment. That means what? If you'll be writing here plus equals to, what it means is you are basically trying to write z is equals to z plus x. That means first of all you add z value with x and then override the value of z, right? This is what you are expecting for. So this is called as addition assignment. In the same way, we have subtraction assignment, multiplication assignment, and many more. So all the operators that we have studied for the category 1 can be used as an assignment operator here. There is nothing so tricky there. Now we have third category. So this basically I was talking about, that you may have single operand also. So if I'm talking about unary minus operator, that means I have one operand and I can negate that operand. So that is unary minus operator. Talking about relational and logical operator. So what is relational operator? That can tell you the relationship between any two given things. So basically it will return you the Boolean value. It will return you either true or false, right? So we have a number A, we have a number B, we have assigned these two variables with some numbers, and here we are comparing it. So let's say if I'm writing A is greater than B, it will return either true or false, and that would be printed. So let me quickly execute it for one at least. Yeah, so one operation we have seen. Likewise, we have greater than or equals to, less than or equals to. And I just hope you understand the difference between if it is double equals to and if it is single equals to. So single equals to is nothing but यहाँ पे पढ़ा देखो, assignment operator, right? It is assigning the value. But then double equals to is a comparison or relational operator. It checks if these two numbers are same or not. And previously, if we have single equals, it assigns. Okay. So this is the difference between single equals and double equals. Okay. So let's move on to next category. Yeah, just give it a moment. My next category is logical operator and Boolean operator. These two operators are, people sometimes use these two operators interchangeably. So basically, we have three things, that is logical and, logical or, and logical not. So what logical not do? It basically negates the Boolean value. If you have true, it will return false. If you have false, it will return true, right? But what logical or and logical and do? So logical and basically gives you answer as true when both the inputs are true. Otherwise, in all of the cases, it gives you false. Similarly, if you define logical or, it gives you false only if both the inputs are false. In all of the cases, it gives you true as answer. So this is how your logical and logical or works. So here in logical operators, we are giving some logical expressions to which we are comparing, and then we are uh, using logical and, right? Whereas here in Boolean operators, we directly have the Boolean values and we are comparing it with and, or, and not. Talking about seventh category, that is bitwise operator. Now this is something which is again, you have studied it before, that is bitwise and. So if I'm saying bitwise and means whatever input has been given to me, to those inputs I will first of all convert to binary, and then bit by bit I will check. So if first bit of first number is 1 and if first bit of second number is 0, then bitwise and will return 0 for the first position, because 1 is on and 1 is off, so it will return off as answer if I am using and, right? So likewise we have bitwise or, bitwise XOR, right? Bitwise shift operators also. So we have left shift, we have right shift. How it works? जैसे कि मैंने बोला bitwise left shift, So to which we have to shift. So we have to shift 7, x is equals to 7. 7 can be represented like this in binary, right? So if I'm asking you to shift it twice, right? That is the reason I'm rewriting there 2. So how you can shift it in the left twice? That is what you'll do. Okay, I think, let me execute it and clarify. Yes. So this operation is actually bitwise right shift operation. So what they are doing, they are shifting this complete into the right hand side. तो अगर आपने ये दो numbers को right hand side में shift किया तो इधर एक zero add करना पड़ेगा of course. Similarly, you have to do it twice. So एक बार और shift किया तो again you have to add one more zero, right? This last one would be discarded in the next step. In the same way, if you will do left shift, so you can clearly see if I've if I've done the left shift, I have to add extra zeros. So I've added 2 zeros here. That is the reason this left shift is giving me the answer as 28, because then the decimal value of this binary number is going to be 28. Okay, so this is how your bitwise operator works. Yeah, now this is something important, that is membership operator, right? So this you use at a lot of places, especially with the for loops, we use it a lot, and with other things also. So what it do, it basically tell your participation in some particular sequence, right? For example, here I have n, right? For n I have a b c d, four different values. So if I'm running a for loop, name in n, so it will check, it will assign a name to a first of all. Now a is in n, it will return true, it will go inside for loop, it will print name, then it will take b, next character. So yes, it is in n, that is true, right? क्योंकि for loop true है, वो print करेगा. Similarly, d तक it will come true. After d, it will not find anything. So name will be blank, which is not in n. So for loop will break here, and here it won't print anything after d. So this is how you will break the for loop. Okay. Then you may have similarly not an operator. So not an operator will check if something is not there in the list. So if something is not there in the list, then it will return true. If something is there in the list, it will return false. So this is how your membership operator works. Okay. Now the next category is identity operator. Now this identity operator is again very important, that we have already discussed yesterday, that every object has been provided with some identity number. तो कल हमने देखा था कि we were just trying to understand why list is mutable, why tuple is not immutable. तो वहाँ पे we have seen this identity number. So this is one and the same thing. So let me quickly execute and show you that it is showing some identity number. Now this is some random number on which we don't have any as such control, right? But yeah, this is what is the identity number. Okay, so these are the various type of operators. Yeah, we have one more operator, that is operator, right? वो चेक करता है कि दोनों वैल्यूज एग्जैक्टली सेम है या नहीं. तो अभी a में वैल्यू 25 है, b में वैल्यू 28 है. If I'll check a is b, so it will return false. So let me check quickly. So it is printing different identity because यहाँ पे if का condition false हो गया, a and b both are not same. So that is the reason if condition has it has been false here. So that is the reason else is getting executed. So these are the various operators that we have in Python, basic operators. And yes, for every program, we just play around with these operators in different combinations and we use it. So I just hope things are clear. I would appreciate if you can acknowledge quickly in the chat if it's clear or not. We are done with data types. We are done with operators. Is it clear? Okay, so till the time you all are posting in the chat, I think I have already given a link in the chat section, if you can see. So that is a very small quiz of 5 questions. You people can go and attempt that quiz. I will quickly enable that quiz from here. Yeah, just give me a minute. So that is on the topics that we have studied till now. Yeah, the quiz is ready to accept the responses. Immediately after 15 minutes, I will keep that responses. I'll again turn that responses off. So you will not be able to submit it after 5 minutes. This is just for your practice to probably let you aware with the new concepts also, and just to make sure that you are understanding the things. So all of you are requested to quickly attempt that quiz. You have 5 minutes from now, and then I'll turn off the quiz link. Yeah, I hope everybody is attempting. So it is like you people are free to use your even Python compilers also, though you will not get that flexibility in the exams. But then, yes, you can use it here and answer. Yeah, great. I can see few responses, but still then I'm waiting for others to respond. Yeah, last 1 minute. You can quickly submit the quiz. That is just for your practice. After a minute, I'll close that link so that we can go ahead with the next topic, that is control statements. Okay, so I am now keeping that quiz link closed because it's a lot of time I've given. Average score I can see very less, but then I think you can see your performance. So you can probably browse the things later. There was one question I have given here, which was having print a statement with asterisk, right? What that asterisk basically do, it gives you the flexibility to, yeah, let me check. Yeah, it gives you the flexibility to keep the things with a single space. So whatever string you will be passed, it will print everything with a single space. So if I'm not wrong, I think there was some string for Python or something I have given. So you might have checked it, right? Yeah, if there is some major problem with some question, or if you're not able to get it in any ways, please post it on the chat section so that I can take your doubts later. There was one question by, I think, Rutuja, that was, can we run Python on VS Code? So if I'm not mistaken, you're talking about Visual Studio Code platform. So yes, Rutuja, we can do that. You just check the steps. We can for sure run a Python code on VS Code, right? Let's start with control statements. So what are control statements basically? It is something that controls the flow of program, right? So we are giving the set of instructions to be executed, right? So if that set of instruction execution I can vary as per my or the flow of execution I can vary as per my choice, then that is for that we need some special syntax, which is nothing but the control statement. So there are few examples of the control statement, like we have if statement, we have if else statement, we have if elif else statement, we have while, we have for, we have else suit, we have break statement, continue, pass, assert, return. So these are the different control statements which are present in Python. There are few differences in few statements with in comparison to other languages. So I think, yes, we should discuss it here. So let's start with the very scratch, that is if statement, right? So here is a place where the indentation actually matters, because then we don't have parentheses to tell if that you have these many statements to execute. So that is the reason. How will if know that these many statements, if the condition will go true, then till when if should get executed. So for that we need to indent it. So default indentation that is given by Python is four spaces, but then yes, you can increase and decrease it. There is no as such rule that it should be only four. So I'll reduce it and show you. So here is 2 spaces. That will again work. So we have a variable num wherein we are taking some number from the user to check, and then we are simply checking a if condition. That is, if this particular number is 1, if it is 1, then print 1, otherwise don't do anything. So the if statement, the default indentation, if we want to give, we have to precede this is if statement with a colon. So as I have written here, if num is equals to 1, colon, as soon as I'll write colon and press enter, it will by default give me the indentation if I'm using some of the IDs. Notepad पे कर रहे हो तो of course you have to take care of indentation. Compiler or interpreter will nowhere help you. So let's quickly execute and see how it works. So here you can clearly see it is asking me some number to enter. So let's say if I'll enter 78 and I'll press enter, it will not do anything because that number is not 1. Okay, and I have not told if the number is not 1, then what to do. So if I want to include that functionality, that if the number is not 1, then you do what? For that, I need a else suit, right? So as you can see in the second example, it is basically checking if the given number is even or odd, right? For that, it is taking the modulo of 2. If modulo of 2 is returning me 0, that means the number is even. If the modulo of 2 is returning me anything else apart from 0, kya return karega? Generally, it will return 1, right? If it is returning me 1, that means it is an odd number. Okay? So what we have done, we have taken here the input from user by using input function, right? We have typecasted it to the integer because then the default type will be string. Okay? And after that, we will check if the number is even or not. So let's execute it. Yes, here it is asking me to enter the number and check if it is even or not. So let's say if I'm entering 79, so it will first go to if and it will check this condition. As the condition goes false, it will not go to print statement, but rather it will go to else, right? In else, it will get print, that is number is odd. So here it is printing num में मैंने value 79 pass की थी, it is printing 79 is odd. Okay. Multiple conditions I want to give now, right? That is, I want to check if the number is less, if A is less than B, or A is equals to B, or A is greater than B, right? तो अगर if else लगाया तो मुझे 2 conditions को club करना पड़ेगा, but यहाँ पे मुझे क्या करना है? I just want to check 3 different conditions. So in that case, I need elif. Java it is else if, here it is elif, right? Just the difference in the syntax of every language, right? So yeah, so here what we have number, if the number is equals to 0, then we are printing 0. If the number is equals to 1, we are printing 1. If the number is equals to 2, we are printing 2. Now there is one more point that I want to mention, that is if the number is not 0, 1 and 2, then want, yeah, am I audible? Yeah, let me check. It seems there is some problem. Hello. Yeah, can somebody please confirm if I'm audible? Hello. Okay.
Hello. Yes, hello. Yeah, I just hope I'm audible now. Okay. Fine. Thank you, sir. So yeah, extremely sorry for the technical glitch in between. So it seems I was not audible since I have started with control statements. I will quickly start with it again. So yes, we were talking about that what control statement is. Control statement is something that changes the flow of the program execution, right? So for example, like here we have 11 control statements which are mentioned, and these 11 control statements are used in Python. So first one is if statement. Before starting with this if statement, one more point I want to mention here, that is here I have enclosed this complete thing into that is triple single quotes, right? What it is, actually हमने कल सीखा था कि it is a string format, right? So that is a very common question, that what is the way of initializing, or what is the way of writing the comments in the Python? So writing the comment, single line comment, for that you need to use hash, as I have used here. But then hash works only for single line comment. अभी Java में कैसा है, we have single line comment के लिए अलग symbol. Then if we want to make multi-line comment, we have that is slash asterisk and then comment, then again asterisk slash. Right. This is how we have the syntax for paragraph. If we want to make a paragraph as a comment, Python does multi-line comment. So we have an alternative of using doc string. Right. What is a doc string? The doc string is like this. Right. But generally होता क्या है कि wherever the comment has been given, compiler ignores that comment. But that is not the case with doc string. If it is a doc string, that means I want to make some multi-line comment. This is not the right way of making it. We cannot basically make it in the in Python. But if we anyways have to make it, we can simply make it as a string. But memory for this particular string will be allocated in the background, right? It's just Python is very having a very rich garbage collector that will take care of the memory later on. But at that time, if you are making a doc string as a comment, then it will take the memory, it will assign the memory later on, it will be cleared by the garbage collector, right? So yes, single line comment is possible with the hash, but multi-line comment is not possible, right? That you can do with some using the strings, right? That here. Okay. I was talking about if statement, how if statement works. It basically checks for the condition, right? And then I will put here a colon. After colon, I'll press enter. As soon as I'll press enter, if it is ID, it will by default understand that it needs to give the indentation, because we don't have opening, closing curly braces here, right? So we can write our statement within that if, as I have written here, print 1, right? So it will print, if I will, my past value is 1, it will print 1. So let's execute it, right? So now it is asking me to enter some number. So let's say मैंने 1 ही डाला, तो इसने क्या print कर दिया, क्योंकि ये condition true हो गई, इसलिए इसने 1 print कर दिया, right? Similarly, अगर मैंने यहाँ कोई और number दिया होता, तो it would not have done anything, because then there is no else. So it does not know if the number is not 1, then what to do, we have not given, right? So it would have not done anything. Okay. Now here we have if else statement. Now how my if else is working, that it is asking me to check for some condition. If the condition is true, then I can go inside if and perform the task. Otherwise, I can go to else and then I can do the task. So if the given number is, let's say, a even number, then it could have printed even. Otherwise, वो क्या करेगा, else पे जाएगा और वो print करेगा the number is odd. Talking about the third control statement is if elif else statement. So the beauty of Python is, okay, first of all, if I want to initialize multiple conditions, for that I need if, elif, right, like that. As in Java, we have else if, here we have elif. So we can give multiple conditions. One more thing to mention here, that here if elif does not expect you to end with the else, तो अगर आप ये जावा में यूज कर रहे हो तो वो क्या बोलता है, if यूज करो then else if और उसके बाद एक else लिखना जरूरी होता है. But then this is not the case with Python. It is quite optional. If you want to use else, you may. Otherwise, you can only terminate this if else if with the else if. That is acceptable, right? So I can execute this code for you. Let me first of all uncomment this. Right? So how it will work? It is asking me a number to enter. Let's say my entered number is 6, right? So if my entered number is 6, then it will go to else and it will print enter the number between 0 to 2. 0 to 2 के बीच का कोई भी नंबर होगा तो ये conditions true हो जाएंगी and it will act accordingly. But then let me make this else as a comment and let me see how it is working. Right? So if I'll make else as a comment and I'll execute it, that means it will ask me to enter the digit to display in Word. Right? Now what I'll do, if let's say I will enter 4, which is not in between 0 to 2, then it will simply come out of it because to this else I have made the comment. Right? इसका ये मतलब है कि else suit is not compulsory. Right? It is optional. Okay? Talking about the loops in Python, so in other languages, we have loops like while, for, and do while, right? In Python, we have for and while loop, right? There is no concept as such as a do while loop, right? So what while loop do? It checks for the condition as it works with C, C++, Java in the same way. It checks for the condition. If the condition is true, it will go inside and run. कौन से स्टेटमेंट्स रन करेगा जो उसके इंडेंटेशन कंडीशन को फुलफिल कर रहे होंगे. फॉर एग्जांपल दिस प्रिंट स्टेटमेंट एंड दिस x plus is equals to 1 statement, right? It will loop it and it will execute. As soon as this condition will go false, it will come out of loop and it will print. So yes, let me execute this. Yeah, so this is how it is working. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 and then end. Why end? Because after coming out of while loop, it is printing end here. Okay. In the same way, we have a for loop, right? So yes, how for loop works in Python. So it does not require any semicolons in between as we used to do with other languages. So what it is doing simply here in the given condition, it is simply traversing with the variable ch to complete a string and it is printing each and every value of the string, character of the string, right? So here it is printing HELLO. This is how the for loop works, right? Generally, we use it with in operator, in not in operator. Okay. Now, if I want to print some specific patterns, I can do that. What is this range 3, range 4? I hope you can understand. We have started a session with that only, right? So here it is printing the nested loop. Okay. Now, talking about some specific patterns, yes, we can print those patterns also, right? How it is working? If I in range 1 to 11, that means I ka value will initialized with 1. After 1, it will go to j. J ka value will go from 1 to 1 plus 1, that is 2. So range 1 comma 2 likha, matlab it will execute only once because then 1 is inclusive, 2 is exclusive, right? जब I plus 1 का value 3 हो जाएगा, at that time it would this for loop will execute twice. Why? Because it will execute for j ka value as 1 and j ka value as 2 also. J ka value as 3 will not be considered क्योंकि हम what we do, we used to ignore the upper value, right? So similarly, it has printed or triangle here. So you can try for some equilateral triangle and then some isosceles triangle. So these kind of experimentations you can do at your end. Okay, talking about using else suit with for loop and while loop, right? So now this is something new in Python that we can use else with a for also. But else will say I will anyways get executed. For क्या कर रहा है उससे मतलब नहीं है, but else will anyways get executed. So the highlighted portion, if I'll execute, then it will give It will print yes, yes, yes 5 times, and then it will print no. So let's see how it is working. Yes, it is printing yes, yes, yes 5 times and then no. Okay, but then the very obvious question is, then why to use else? I can simply write it like this now. मैं ऐसे लिख सकती हूँ. I can write a print statement here, right? और उस print में मैं यहाँ पे no लिख सकती हूँ ना. Why to write else? इसको भी अगर execute किया तो I will get the same results. I'm getting yes, yes, yes 5 times and then no. So to understand the relevance of this else, I'm not doing this, I'm using else. To understand the relevance of this else, I have one more program. That is, we have initialized a list to which we are calling it as group one. This is the name of the variable. And then I just want to find out if the given element by the user is available in this list or not. So user element कैसे देगा? Int input से element देगा. So let's say उसने element दिया 3. And I want to find out if 3 is available in this group one or not. So how it will go on? It will go on. अच्छा, else में मैंने क्या डाला है? Element not found. तो फिर ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि एलिमेंट मिल गया उसके बाद भी उसने else compulsorily print कर दिया, right? So for that, what we are doing here, we are searching it with, okay, let's start with the search में मैंने value दी 3. Now it will start with this element it will access from group 1. मतलब सबसे पहले क्या चेक करेगा? 3 is equals to 1 है क्या? No, it is, this condition is false. It will go to for loop, element will now access 2. So it will check if 3 is equals to 2 kya? No, that is again false. So it will not do anything. क्योंकि else तो है नहीं, सिर्फ if है, right? इस for loop के अंदर जो if है उसके पास else नहीं है. So then what it will do? It will again go to third element. It will check if 3 is equals to 3 kya? Yes, that is right. Right? So what it will do? It will go inside this if and it will print element found in group 1. Okay. After printing this, it will break. Once it will break this complete for else suit, right? ये सिर्फ for को break नहीं करेगा, for else suit को break करेगा. That means this print statement will not work at that time. लेकिन अगर मैंने 3 की जगह search element 6 दिया होता, तो वो क्या करता? At that time it could have executed this for loop 5 times and it could have failed to find out the element. Then it could have went else, it could have printed that element is not found. So it is now, I think it is sounding a bit logical why we are using else. Okay. So yeah, this is how else helps us. Break statement हमने देख लिया है. It breaks the flow of any control statement, right? As we have seen here. Now next is continue and pass. Okay. So there is very minute difference between this continue and pass. Yeah. So we'll see what is the difference. I just hope I'm audible. If you can confirm in the chat. Yeah, please quickly confirm in the chat if I am audible. Okay. Fine, thank you. So now we will start with the difference between continue and pass. Okay. So we have a code here which is initializing x with 0, right? And it is checking x is less than 10. Yeah, yes, x is less than 10. So increment x by 1 and then check if x is greater than 5. Yeah, no, x is not greater than 5. Then it will print the value of x, which is going to be 1, right? Till when this while loop will work properly, it will work properly till the value of x goes 4, right? A value of x will goes to 5, right? 5 is greater than 5, false. It will print 5. Let's see what will happen after that. Right? तो उसने क्या किया? उसने चेक किया कि वैल्यू ऑफ x क्या कर रहा है, it is checking if value of x is greater than 5. So as soon as x will go 6, right, 6 is greater than 5, what it will say, it will say continue. कंटिन्यू का क्या मतलब है, इट इज नॉट गोइंग टू द नेक्स्ट स्टेटमेंट. कंटिन्यू का मतलब इट इज अगेन गो टू द व्हाइल लूप, अगेन चेकिंग, अगेन इंक्रीमेंटिंग, अगेन checking for the if. That means it is not going to the next statement. This is how continue works. But instead of continue, if I could have written pass here, as I have written here in this example, तो वो क्या करता है, it simply ignores and it goes to the next line, right? For example, if I am executing this particular piece of code, okay, कैसे रन हो रहा है ये कोड देखो, we are provided with a list, right, which is having 1 2 3 and so on elements, right? So for I in num, right, I का वैल्यू सबसे पहले क्या हो जाएगा, 1 हो जाएगा. 1 is greater than 0, क्या 1 is greater than 0 is true, right? As soon as it will go true, what it will do, it will go to I again, right? It will go to 2, right? But then जैसे ही if का condition false होता है, it will come to else and it will print I. So basically, what is the difference between continue and pass? Continue send control back to the condition, whereas pass will say, okay, you can go and check the next statement. There is no problem. So you can simply ignore the condition. Okay. So this pass statement is useful at a lot of places. You will once you will learn about the object-oriented approach of Python, then there you can see that for abstraction we use password at many places, pass keyword at many places, right? Talking about the next category, that is assert statement. Now this is again one of the control statement. Okay. This is a keyword which is also used by exception handling of Python, right? So what assert do? Assert statement is useful to check if the particular condition is fulfilled or not, right? If the condition is fulfilled, it prints message. So here we have a small example. That is, X is expecting me to enter some number greater than 0. So if number is greater than 0, it will go to the next statement. If number is not greater than 0, it will print here only. That is wrong input enter. So let's execute and see how assert works. Right? Enter the number greater than 0, it is asking. So let's say if I am entering 67 and I am pressing enter, and it is showing me you entered 67 because I am entering something which is greater than 0. But then let me execute it again and enter something which is less than 0. For that, I can enter here -2 and press enter, right? As soon as I will press enter, it will give me wrong input entered. That is assertion error, right? Wrong input entered is some error which is actually written by me. That statement is actually written by me. So it is basically printing something of my choice, right? Giving some error message of my choice. This is how assert works. Okay? So this is all about the control statements. Return statement, you know pretty well, as we use with every other language, same ways return works here. There is no as such difference, right? So this is all about control statements. Using these control statements, well, these are the basic concepts again, which will be used at each and every places. But then, yes, for the questions where we are provided with a code snippet and 4 different options, many times they test us with the control statements if we know properly that how the control is going with this particular keyword or not, right? So if you are provided with some objective question which need to find out some error, for that you should be very pro with the control statement concepts, right? Or if not error, then what would be the output? ऐसे questions अगर आते हैं तो you should be clear with this concept. Again, I recommend all of you to practice it with the coding platforms as suggested. So after that, okay, now the topics that we have to cover from now till tomorrow's session is that is file handling, database connectivity, GUI, and socket programming, right? So we will quickly cover because then we have a lot to cover. So let's start with GUI quickly. File handling, database connectivity, we'll see tomorrow, right? And socket programming, we'll see in tomorrow's session. So let me all the variables and here the console. Yeah, so we are good to go with GUI now. Okay, so GUI stands for graphical user interface, right? What is graphical user interface? Or how it is helpful? So as you see, it makes the working with the computer interactive, right? That is, we are having a simple icon on which we can go and click and perform the operation. I need not to write a code snippet or a command to perform something, right? So this is what is the flexibility that we used to get with GUI, right? Now, if you're talking about Python GUI, there are a lot of libraries which provide us this functionality. For example, tkinter, for example, PyQt, right? These are the different libraries. But here we are going to explore tkinter library. So अगर आपको कोई एक भी library का usage समझ में आ गया, so you can explore other library by your own very easily, right? So let's start with the concept of tkinter. Before that, let me tell you there may be two different type of work that you want to do with GUI. For example, if I want to write some text on the screen, or if I want to put some colors with it, or if I want to insert some image or draw some geometry, probably I want to draw a rectangle on the screen, right? So for these kind of things, we use the container of Tkinter that is called as canvas, right? Canvas container we use, right? Then there is one more container which is called as frames, right? So what that container do? That container give you the access of these elements, right? So what elements, what widgets you can access through it. For example, you use radio buttons, you use labels, scroll bar, check buttons, entry boxes, menus, right? So these kind of functionalities, these kind of widgets you can create using frames. Okay. Let's start with Canvas. But before starting with Canvas, let's see how we can work with Tkinter, right? So tkinter is some inbuilt module with Python to which you just need to import before using, right? So the full form is toolkit interface, right? tkinter. So that is toolkit interface, right? So what do you do? From tkinter, we'll import everything, right? Then we create the object of toolkit class here, right? So that object I'm calling it as root, right? And then with root I'm calling main loop function. Now, what does main loop function exactly do? This main loop function runs an infinite loop, right? What does infinite loop do? Okay, so once I create the root object, I used to get an extra window, which is rectangular window, which is linked as a root window. And that root window should be appeared till the time I'm not closing it intentionally. That thing has been taken care by main loop function here, right? So let me execute this part of code and show you that how it works. Yes, so you can see that my spider is giving me one more spider icon here. Let me open this icon. So this is the rectangular window, which is having the default name as TK, having some icon here, leaf icon, which is default, and then having a minimize button, full screen button, close button, right? Minimize, maximize, and close button buttons are available here. This is a rectangular window. This is just a rough window of tkinter on which we can do some operations, right? On which we can put the canvas, we can put the frames, we can put widgets, different geometries, whatever you want to try, you can try it on this window. This is your GUI window. Now I just want to play with this window a bit. I want to probably change the name of this window. Currently the name is TK. I want to put some other name. I want to change the default size of this window. Though I can change it through here, we can stretch it and minimize it as highly possible. But I want to do it, that initial window should become of the size which has been opted by me. So yeah, that is quite possible. If I want to change the icon of this window, yeah, it should allow me to change this leaf icon to something else, जो भी मुझे icon चाहिए, right? And then, yeah, these are the changes that I want to do with this window. So let's see how we can do that. So here I have created my root window, right? Then I have written the title of the window, that is my window. Then, okay, to change the title, पहले TK title आ रहा था, उसको मुझे change करना है with the given string. That means now on the top of the window, my window string will be printed. Okay. Then next is geometry. What this geometry will say? That you can choose the size as per your choice. So here I am giving the size of the window as 400 cross 300. Right? This is going to be the size of my window. Okay. If I want to change the icon, for that the function is available, that is WM underscore icon bitmap. Now what this icon bitmap allows us to do, to change the icon. But for that, मैंने ये कोड जहां पे भी कहीं सेव किया है, at the same place I have to save a .ico file. .ico is the extension for icon, right? So I can download, for testing, you can download any of the icon from internet that should be having .ico extension. If not having whatever extension you have, JP, GPNG, you can convert it online to ICO and you can check. But it requires you to put .ico extension. ठीक है, तो ये लॉगिन आइकन क्या है, बेसिकली इस नाम का एक फाइल है मेरे पास ऑन द सेम लोकेशन वेयर आई हैव सेव्ड दिस कोड, right? That file name is that is a image file, icon file, which is having its name as login log, that is LOGOICON, right? This is what is the file name, logo icon. Okay, so yeah, I can execute this for you. Before that, I have to kill the previous window. To previous window, I can kill directly by crossing it. Okay, now it is showing me some error with logo icon.ico. Why? Because then I have not set the path. तो मैंने ये जो जहाँ पे कोड और आइकन फाइल सेव किया, I have to set the path here in Spider. So yeah, you just need to take care of these things also. Let me find out where this file is. It's the even.py file, and it seems this is the folder. Now let me execute the code again and see if it works. No, so it is not able to find out the file. Okay, so this mistake is basically the error of not able to finding out the file. So in that folder, I might not have kept any file of this name, but then yes, you can definitely try it and it will work fine. Okay, talking about the next code. So yes, now we will start with working with containers, right? So as I told you, there are two major containers. So what container is? Container is basically a component which uses as a place where you can make the drawings or place the widgets. So you can do two things. Either you can make the drawings, that is rectangle, triangle, ये सब बना सकते हो, or else you can place the widgets. Widgets as in, I'm talking about buttons, I'm talking about radio buttons, I'm talking about check boxes, I'm talking about probably push buttons, right? Yeah, for the scroll bar, yeah, for anything, drop down, right? So these things are nothing but widgets, okay? So canvas is basically used for shapes, and frames are basically used for these widgets, okay? We'll quickly see a program to understand that how we can create various shapes in canvas. right? So yeah, this is a very nice code to explain you the things one by one. Before that, let me open a, okay, wherever it will be required, I'll open. So yes, let me start with how to put canvas on this root window. So how to create root window, that we understood. We need to create a TK object. After that, उसके ऊपर एक child window बनाना है with name, with which can be made by a predefined function, that is canvas, right? So how I can do? I can call the canvas, and inside canvas I just need to pass the root object. Why this root object is required? Because then this root object is telling me कि ये canvas को place कहाँ पे करना है, right? Then I can place it as per my choice. I mean, I can use the color, background color. I can use height, width, cursor type. So cursor type here I'm using pencil. That is the cursor that will be coming, will be in the shape of pencil. You can use any other cursor. There are ample of options available in Python. So it is predefined. You can go there and go to the internet and check what are the different cursors. Like we have yeah, I just hope it is fine now. Sir, can you please confirm? Yeah, okay. Yeah, thank you very much, sir. Yeah, extremely sorry for the glitch. So yes, we are basically learning that how to create a line on the screen. So yeah, let me execute it first, show you the output, then I'll explain what are all the numbers I have passed inside it. So this is the code. Whatever gray statements you can see here, all those statements I have commented, right? Let me close all the previous windows and execute it again. Okay, so see, now this is the window, just the size we hamare according change ho gaya hai because we have given the height and width. And this is what is the output it is showing. The cursor type, if you can see, is pencil. These lines are having some specific width and are joining to some specific coordinates. Now let me just reduce the size of this window a bit and let me explain you how it is working. So this particular line function is taking 50-50 as a first values. What this initial two numbers 50, 50 actually showing you is this particular corner of the triangle, right? Why it comes to be triangle? हमने तो line create की थी, तो we will see कि ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है, that we will see. But then this corner is 50, 50. That is x value and y value is x coordinate and y coordinate is 50 and 50, right? Then I have taken 250. Right, that means it will increase the x value to 200. That means this corner it is talking about. That means it is joining first and second value as xy pair to third and fourth value as xy pair, right? Next coordinate what I've given, sorry, it is 200 and 150, right? So what it is doing to this corner, it is joining to this corner with a straight line, right? That is 200 to 150, right? After 200 to 150, again I have given 50, 50. That is the reason now this particular corner is joining back to the initial point, which is nothing but 50, 50. So it is not required that every time we need to make the triangle. So yeah, we can give the choices as per our requirement. It will join basically do ka pair lega and it will join it accordingly and it will create the straight lines and combination of it. So this is how your straight line function works. Sorry. Right? Now what this attribute width is equals to 4 is doing, this particular attribute is actually deciding that how wide this line is going to be. So this width, if I'll change to 1, it will be very thin line. But since I have kept it 4, it is quite visible and a thick line. Okay, the color of this line I have given as white. So this is what is displayed here. Okay, how the background is coming blue, because देखो यहाँ पे canvas के लिए I have already taken the background color as blue. I have already taken some default height and width. You can always change it. That is highly possible because मेरे पास एक बार window आ गया तो I can like minimize and maximize it. But then initial size क्या चाहिए? You can provide it from here. Okay. In the same way, we have other functions also to which I want you people to explore. That if I talk about next function, that is create oval function, that helps us to create circle also and oval shape also, right? But then what concept it is using in background? It is using a lot coordinate geometry in the background. Okay, you should know the basic understanding of what x and y coordinate is, right? How it is working on the screen, right? थोड़ा बहुत भी coordinate geometry समझ में आता है, तो it is pretty easy for you to understand these functions, right? The similar way we have create polygon, create rectangle, so you can explore these functions and draw different geometries on the screen. Right. Other thing what we can do, we can also be able to write some text on the screen. Right. So let me show you this particular thing. Let me make this create line as comment. So why I'm not making every other line as uncomment and executing, because it would be a great clutter और आपको शायद समझ में नहीं आएगा. So yeah. So this is how I'm defining my FNT tuple. What I'm passing here, I'm giving here a font type. So yeah, this is a font style, this is a font size, and I want the font to be bold, italic, and underlined. Okay, now I'm creating here a text. The text should be started from this particular location. So it will go to that window, it will check where this 500, where the X value is 500. It will take the pixel count. So X value 500 pixel count पे कहाँ है and Y value 100 pixel count पे कहाँ है. It will start writing from this location. And the text is, क्या text print करना है हमें? That is my canvas. So that I can pass in text attribute. And here the font should be of this type, FNT type. That is Times New Roman होना चाहिए, 40 size होना चाहिए, bold, italic and underlined होना चाहिए. Right? Color yellow होना चाहिए. Right, active fill green hona chahiye. What this active fill is, we will see now. Right, so let's execute this and see what it is doing on the screen. think I have to, yes, here is my output. So it is starting from 50, 100 location. The font is italic, bold, the color is yellow. Active fill, I hope आपको समझ में आया होगा कि as soon as I am hovering my cursor here, I am getting the color changed to green. Initially it was yellow, and as soon as I am putting my cursor here, it is converting the color to green. So this is what is active fill actually do. The text should be underlined, that we have already given, that is bold, italic and underlined. Font size हमने दिया था, that is 40. Font style हमने दिया था, that is times style, right? It is following these styles. So if you by any chance have a query that how do we come to know that what are the different styles present, so for that we have a function called as families, which is present in font module. So you can simply execute by importing tkinter se font import karo, and you can execute this. It will print all the different fonts. So yeah, let me do this for you. Let me kill this window first. Wait a minute. Yeah, see. So here it is printing all the accessible and possible font styles which are present with Kinter, right? So you can try any of these styles. We have tried somewhere Times. So Times New Roman se काफी सारे styles हैं. So we have tried Times font, right? So this is how you can write the text. Similarly, you can create the arc, right? Now here it is written that is c.pack. What this pack is, actually this pack is clubbing all the components of C with your canvas window, right? तो आपने पहले क्या किया, आपने जो भी canvas बनाया उसको root के साथ पैक किया, वैसे ये सारे components जो आप c dot करके create करो, उसे आप पैक कर रहे हो canvas के साथ, right? And finally, what main loop do? It keep on flashing the window, right? It takes care of that window should not be closed by itself unless we are explicitly not doing it, right? In the same way, here we have a code. We can use photo image function to put some particular photograph on the GUI. So let's say if we are creating any XYZ thing for which I need to put some photographs. So yes, I can export it from that same folder. So the condition that was there with the icon is the same condition is here, that your photograph should be present at the same location where you have your program. Otherwise, आपको यहाँ पे सिर्फ logo.png नहीं, you have to write here the full path of that particular photo, right? If you want, you can, yes, create the image of your choice. You can create the text of your choice. So these are the different things that you can explore with Canvas. So this is the major functionalities of Canvas, and this is how your Canvas works. I just hope in GUI till Canvas part things are clear. So may I quickly get a confirmation in the chat? Yeah, all of you, quickly you can acknowledge in the chat if the things still here are clear or not. Okay, great, Rituja. What about others? You people can quickly acknowledge if the things are clear. So what we'll do for the day, we will keep only this much for the day. So you can practice different data types, different operators, different control statements, and Canvas in GUI. So what would be the agenda for tomorrow's session? That we will start with GUI frames. Then we'll quickly go through the database connectivity, file handling, and socket programming. So yeah, we have a lot to cover. So it would be like the speed would be a bit fast, right? So if you have any doubt, you can post it here in the chat section. Otherwise, that's all for the day. Thank you very much, everybody. Please keep on practicing, and yes, you can come up with the questions if you have any. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.